Aloha everybody, welcome to Astrorisamoon Forecaster. We're getting ready to talk about this upcoming full moon in Taurus, and that's for November 12th, 2019. The time will be 8:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full moon 19 degrees Taurus in house 5. Sun Scorpio 19 degrees in house 11, and the ascendant is 11 degrees Sagittarius. So it's full moon in Taurus with Sun in Scorpio. We're looking at then archetypes of Oshun and Oya. But it's also called the Beaver moon. The Native American name for this moon time in November is the Beaver. And that is because the Beaver is known for being the builder within the animal kingdom of water and earth. And so that is basically what this moon time is about. It's about building, and it is about balancing and sustainability. So the beaver, that's a creature that is very family conscious and is known to focus, like I said, on building, fortifying, and restructuring its home and environment for the protection of its family and to ensure it has sufficient resources. So like I said, that's what this moon time is about. And this lunar animal totem definitely corresponds to this moon time in Taurus. Again, archetype of Oshun, because that's being the provider of home, hearth, and happiness for all who dwell within her domain. So we're talking about this moon time being also a solution-oriented moon time. It is talking about attending to your environment, whatever that is, something close to home. Even though the sun is in house 11, that energy of the sun being in house 11 is more about generosity and sharing with others. But the energies of this moon time are very strong, very close to the need for happiness, the need for some type of peace, structure, order within the home environment. No, we're not talking about house for a home. We're talking about your environment as far as who you share your space with. Moon in house 5, definitely activated. Many of us will be feeling a need to express ourselves in an artistic fashion. Some people will be more carefree, while others may notice their romantic side is showing up more. Whatever it is that our individual consciousness wants to explore at this time collectively, it will be related, like I said, to house 5 and those activities in whatever shape and form they want to manifest. House 5 is governing not only your income or your children, again, those that are close to us in our proximity as far as where we dwell, but it's also governing self-expression, our creativity, and on some levels, indulgence. So we're going to have to be careful if we are being overly indulgent during this moon time. Like I mentioned, the sun is in Scorpio, again, archetype of Oya. That energy is still manifesting the experience of change and transformation. So couple that with house 5 energy, okay? So it's requiring us to be very dedicated and motivated in whatever we're doing on a collective conscious level. And so this moon time information, if you get the forecast, will be spanning November 12th through December 8th. Just visit www.astrorisamoon.com and pick up your forecast for November 12th. And it also has the moon ceremony. So you might want to get that today, so you'll be ready to do the moon ceremony in the evening of November 12th. Let's talk about some transits and aspects. One of you have asked me about the significance of the Mercury transiting the Sun, which happened Monday, November 11th, 2019 at 7:36 a.m. Eastern Time. So basically, you want to look at that as communication being illuminated. It is our words. It's our truth, because Sun is in Scorpio. It's our ideas. It's our speech. It's our literary expression, all of that is going to be illuminated during this time. And the time is not only Monday, but we're talking about days from now, ongoing days, a lot of illumination. Okay, couple that with the Scorpio energy. So we're talking about when we express ourselves, we're expressing our truth. We're expressing what we believe. That will be illuminated on a deeper level because those that are receiving our information are going to dissect that information. They're going to take it apart. They're going to look for its authenticity, especially during this time. Couple that with the first house being in Sagittarius, and we're going to talk about that during this moon time. So leading up to the full moon in Taurus, with the Mercury transiting the sun or moving across the face of the sun for all to see, and then the moon moving into Taurus with first house in Sagittarius. Also Jupiter is also in the first house. All of this illumination, all of this expression, and all of this dissecting of information is going to happen. And people are going to, in a sense, stand in their truth, or they're going to question our truth. And we've seen that happen on Monday. We've seen it happen. We've seen examples of that happening in the news. People doing book signings and people within their own group who share the same ideologies and beliefs that they share, calling each other out. It wasn't a group thought at that point. The group was focusing on the words and the ideas that were being expressed or not expressed. And not only focusing on it, but attacking it. So this is what we're going to see for maybe a week or two. I don't know, it might be longer. I mean, Mercury is still in retrograde. It is placing a light on information that is being shared. It's not stopping at only placing a light on information that's being shared, but that information is being scrutinized and dissected for the world to see. So that's what that Mercury transit sun is meaning at this time. Okay, so I mentioned the Sagittarius ascendant for the full moon. So with that Sagittarius ascendant, we're talking about law, order, and discipline is being brought to the forefront. So more people will be compelled to accept or reject responsibilities now. Some people will want to be available for others. Some people will not want to be available for others, and they'll be standing in their truth about it because their decision will be making a lot of sense to them. And so that's kind of energy that we're all seeing on a collective conscious level, speaking about Sagittarius in the first house during this full moon time. Also, a lot of people will not be interested too much in silly dramas or drama shows, that type of thing. They want to see something that has some substance to it. They may want to read a book or watch a play or show that really speaks to how they feel or think about a certain situation, because it's going to give them some type of mental stimulation. Or they want to associate with people that are more learned or people that have a vast interest in things, because that's going to address their need for social stimulation. So again, this is about something of substance. A lot of people are going to be connecting to that. The other thing that people don't talk about with Sagittarius across the board is, as much as Sagittarius is ruled by the 9th house, and that's education, information, higher knowledge, Sagittarius is very, very restrictive when it comes to sharing personal information. Sagittarius will give you literary information on how to ride a bike or something like that. But when it comes to personal information, Sagittarius does not like to share too much about itself, because that archetype wants you to earn the right to have that information. During this time frame, there may be a lot of sharing of, like I said, information, but personal information about yourself or something you hold close to the heart, you may not want to do. We're dealing with Sagittarius in the first house, so that's also saying, well, I don't have to believe everything you say. You have to convince me that I should believe what you say. There's a scrutiny that's happening. So it's a lot of cerebral energy happening with this moon time. Okay, so let's get into these aspects. Okay, so if you are connecting with moon opposite Mercury during this time, you may be clear about what you want. You may be clear about what is happening around you. You walk into a room and you can read the room really clearly. You can intuit what's happening in that room very well. The thing, though, is that you have to express through words what you were seeing, interpreting, understanding, and feeling. So if you're connecting to moon opposite Mercury, that might be somewhat of a challenge for you, because you'll have to balance your intuitive knowledge, and then of course you have to rearrange that, and you have to concisely deliver it verbally. So with that type of transit, you have to be very careful of being misunderstood. One has to be really careful of just being too much in their head, talking to themselves a lot, or telling themselves all sorts of stories, convincing themselves something imagined is real. You got to be really careful when connecting to this transit if it sparks that type of behavior. And so a lot of balancing acts that have to happen between heart, mind, and feelings during this moon time. The other aspect is moon trine Saturn. We're talking about restrictions and responsibility. Self-control is manifesting during this time, especially if you're connecting to this aspect. So when your environment is out of sort, then clutter, things out of place will really drive you up a wall. That's because you need peace and you need harmony, and peace and harmony will come or manifest through order and organization. So that's how you're getting your peace and your harmony. But also connecting to this aspect, for some of you, you'll be using your instinct, your logic, and practicality to solve problems. Others who are connecting with this moon trine Saturn, we're talking about problem solving, are going to notice that they need to be released from some type of environmental restriction. They'll look at the situation and say, this is just impractical. I don't know how I ended up like this. I don't know why I'm staying in this kind of environment or situation. And they'll decide that they just need to be released from it. Also, with this moon trine Saturn, some people will experience a revelation about their family and their co-workers. Something will come to light regarding someone that's in close proximity to you. The last aspect is moon sextile Neptune. You'll notice most likely that people will be seeking you out a lot during this moon time. They are wanting to connect with you, or they're really relating to your esoteric philosophies. You also might feel very artistic and creative, but You have to be careful with relying too much on your intuition to the point where you just completely ignore practical investigation. But this moon sextile Neptune is a very carefree type energy. You may want to take a trip or just do a getaway, because as much as it's intuitive and connecting with others, that's like a soul connection, you may just really need some space and some time alone to regroup and just connect maybe with your own self and your own being and balance yourself. So these are the aspects for this upcoming moon time in Taurus. I'll see you next month in December under that last full moon of the year. And remember to know your truest self. Follow the moon. All right, everyone. Take care.